Good morning, everyone. So as we start this morning, you are going to start in a seated position. So please find a seat. This could be sitting on a cushion. It could be sitting in a chair. So today we have kind of a general awareness focus on the area of your neck and your shoulders and how we tend to um, carry a lot of stress there. We describe like the weight of the world that we just pick up. We pick up all sorts of things that we do this in a way unconsciously. We start to carry around the weight of the world with us. And so when we stop and do this formal practice, we really get to see what's going on. And that this really is not helping us to decrease our own suffering, decrease suffering in the world. So let's go ahead and close the eyes. Taking a few deeper breaths at first, just to be embodied. And then move yourself actually into a more steady, deep breath. It's always good to start with the spine, like you're just exploring the whole length of the spine. Waking up the strength in the back. And we are really connecting the head then. As you're waking up your back, sometimes we just feel the torso. So we want to feel then, like, oh, yeah, and then there's my head, kind of dealing with the weight of my head. Lifting straight up through the crown of the head, almost like your head is like a balloon that it's just lifting up, lifting up. And then bring awareness to your shoulders, your neck, even your upper back. You could breathe into all of those spaces. And you might notice an area that's calling out to you. It just feels like a little stiff, or like that's the area that you carry your weight, that all the stress kind of goes right there. Now, as you're moving into this deeper breath, that next time that you take a nice, deep, deep, full inhale, that right at the top of the inhale, you're going to suspend your breath. Just hold your breath. And then, as you need to, you just gradually let go. You exhale, you exhale. You almost get taller as you're exhaling. And then really pull the navel in. Just get that squeeze around the navel. Getting into this very thorough deep breath. As you inhale, soak in, like your whole body is a big sponge soaking in the breath. At the top of the inhale, you stop, you hold your breath. And then you gradually exhale. Now make sure this is comfortable. Like, even though it's a much deeper breath than your usual breath, like you're kind of really getting into this deep sweeping the body, or you could think of it like a big wave that's just moving through the whole body. Taking your awareness deeper and deeper into the body. So I find that when I stop, like do a full stop like this, put everything down, all of your responsibilities, just putting them down right now. You may feel already this a bit more spaciousness through the neck. In fact, we'll just do a little bit of side to side where you drop your head to one side, like your ear starts to drop down. Now, as you do this, make sure your spine almost gets like a little bit longer, your whole spine, all the way from the tip of the tailbone, crown of the head. Now, as I drop my ear, like let's say you're dropping your right ear down, you might notice how the left shoulder starts to lift up. So we want to keep that shoulder down. You could even reach that opposite arm, like a little bit out to the side. I like to do that and just feel like that energy flow down the opposite arm. And now, as you go up and over to the other side, just do this tenderly. Make sure breastbone lifting up, ear drops slightly, and then that opposite arm just reaching out. We want to make sure like we're letting go of all the tension because holding tension in the neck and shoulders is such a strong habit that it can just come back in instantly. You know, you're doing your yoga and all of a sudden you're like this. So back and forth, just breathing, exploring. There might be a little teeny head movement. I like to keep your mouth open a little bit so you can feel space in the mouth. And as you're doing this back and forth, you might hear sounds like your neck might, there might be a little crunchy sound in there. Don't be surprised. Good. So, just an initial checking in. Now, if there is an area that you just feel like, ooh, there is like that area is really sensitive or there's a pain or something that you want that area to be your teacher through the rest of our class. So, as you let go of your seated pose, we are going to move right back to the mat and let's just go let's go into all fours, right? So very basic starting position, all fours. And what we're going to move into is a little variation of our cat and cow pose. All right. So right here, you're going to focus, take the knees a little wide apart so they have space. And then you're just going to start to reach your chest forward. But as you're doing this, now this is kind of like cow pose, but rather than really dropping your belly down, there's a little lift of your navel, like just slightly, because you don't want to overarch your lower back. Rather, this is all about your chest, your thoracic pulling in. So your upper spine is pulling in, and that results in a reaching forward of your collarbones and your chest, getting just that right chin lift. You don't want to lift your chin too much or that's going to crunch your neck. Okay, and then the other movement is that you really start to lift your navel. Lift your navel, lift your navel, and then drop your elbows down. And really lift your navel, tuck your tailbone under. So this is going to really stretch your lower back. The more you pull your navel up. So it's about your lower back. You don't want to focus on
the stretch of your upper back. You really want to lift your navel up. And then as you come back up, straighten your arms, and there goes the chest forward. So see if you can feel it. Oh, now I'm getting that space, that length of the front of the body, that around your chest. Just the right opening through your throat. And then the navel lifts up and you drop your elbows down. So rather than pulling your shoulder blades apart here, you're just focusing on that lift of the navel and that stretch in your deep lower back. Your head will drop down here. Come back up, we'll do one more. Take the hands even wider apart so you can really reach your chest forward. Now notice if you overarch your lower back. So lift the navel a little bit. As you reach the chest forward, you can even move your head slightly so you can feel like neck is long, throat just right. Upper chest, lots of space. And then the navel really pulling up here. Drop your elbows down. Navel up, navel up, navel up. You can get into that deep stretch of your lower back. Good. And then as you let this go, you're actually just going to sweep yourself up onto your knees. Take your arms out to the side. Draw your shoulder blades on your back while drawing your navel in. So there has to be that intentional contracting around your navel. Wide across your chest, and then the head, there's your balloon lifting straight up. Just breathe here. Like your neck getting longer and longer. You could even look a little to the right, look a little to the left, and just do that so you can feel your neck long. Good. Now, as you bring your arms down, you're going to take your right hand and just let it go palm up on your lower back. And then reach your left arm way up. So there's going to be a big inhale here. And then as you exhale, you hinge in your hips. The left hand is going to come down on top of. As you lower down here, you're going to look to the right. Down, you're lengthening your spine. You land on the left side of your head because you're looking to the right. Now make sure shoulders don't just sink down and crush you, that you are keeping your shoulders back. And then you lift way up here and your right arm reaches up. So you get that lift of your ribs up. Lift your navel up. And then as the right arm reaches way out to the side, the palm goes up on your lower back. You hinge forward. You look to the left. You get that long neck and you just land on your head, side of the head. So there's a twist. Let's do this with the breath. You come all the way up. You reach your left arm up. You big inhale. And then as you exhale, you fold over. Left palm out as you look to the right. Touch down. Then you inhale. You sweep that right arm up. Big lifting up through your spine. And then the arm goes way out to the side as you land on side of your right head. Your right head, not your left head. And you reach up. So just find your own big breathy pace with this back and forth. There's that little bit of just effort of positioning. Or, it's a real light, kind of graceful and strong movement. Deep breaths. the whole time you could actually practice. Like, I'm not lifting my shoulders up to my ears. I'm really keeping my shoulders down. Good. So we're going to let this go. And you're going to take yourself right back to all fours. So I would like to just extend the legs and move the legs a little bit here. So as you're doing this, make sure your head is not forgotten. Like, you don't just drop your head down here. You keep it attached, knees now touch together. You're going to reach the right leg way back. Breathe, nice strong arms. And then bend the right knee out to the side, lifting it up, and then it drops down. And then the left leg goes back, you straighten that leg. Really firm. And then bend the left knee, lift it out to the side, way up, and then it drops down. Now, the whole time you're doing this, you could think of that little bit of that cow pose we did earlier. Just slightly, like your chest reaching forward. But you are facing straight down to the mat. You know, you don't want to look forward as you do this. So let's just take the legs then. Side to side. So right leg goes back. Knee lifts out to the side and down. Left leg. Move and breathe. There's real natural, nice flow of breath. Simply make sure that you do not hold your breath. You might find a real steady, steady breath. Smooth, full inhale. Smooth, full exhale. Just enjoy this big, giant leg movement. Feel your airways, that your nostrils, your sinuses, your mouth, your throat, really open here. Even feel your chest as you're doing this. Oh, the vast space inside your ribs. Good. And then as you let this go, you're going to take yourself right to downward facing dog. And really notice how down dog, that position through your neck and your shoulders, that the hands might go a little wider apart in order to have just that nice space. So you don't have to put your shoulders up to your ears. Shoulders stay back here. Reaching the tailbone back. Reaching like the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Now lightly touch your knees down and move yourself right onto your belly. So as you recline here, extend your legs back. And please make sure, as the next movement that we do, please make sure that you have room out to the side, because you're going to be moving your arms around. Reposition my camera so that when we start here, you're going to start out with your palms up on your lower back. And as you drop your head down, instead of doing like a face plant, you're going to look to your left. So your head, like you're on your right cheek. Okay, extend the legs back and then feel that nice grounding of your tailbone and the pubic bone down. So as we start to lift into this, into our Cobra Pose, you're going to lift your head Lift your shoulders a little bit, look down, and really reach your left arm way out to the side. And then as it comes forward, bend your left elbow and take your hand right above your eyebrows, kind of like you're saluting. You lift up your left elbow, and then as you reach that left arm back where it came from, palm goes up, you rotate your head and look to the right, and then the head drops down onto your left cheek. And then you lift up again. You look down, that right arm reaching way out to the side, and you do your little salute. The hand up by your eyebrows, lift as high as you wish. And then the right arm reaching way out to the side again. Palm goes up, lower back, look to the left, and land back down. So we lift up again, reach that left arm out, doing your little salute. And just feel really comfortable through your neck here. And then reach that left arm back where it came from, look to the right. As you lift up again, that right arm goes out to the side. You do your little salute. And just breathing now. Go ahead and move this really smooth back and forth. There's, it's a really big, deep arm shoulder movement even that you're doing here. So part of our neck and shoulder health, there's a lot of work involved. Notice as you're doing this that you don't have to lift very far at all. Like if you just wanted to do a very minimal lift. You might notice the back strength involved. Even if you're not lifting very high, we're getting that repetitive action of lifting, lowering. Good. And then as we let this go, you're going to take yourself right back to your down dog. So hands on either side of the chest. And as you start to lift up here, make sure, get that just right position for your hands and your feet. So it actually works for your neck, for demanding of your shoulders here, this deep shoulder flexion. So for example, like I'm stopping like halfway into my down dog, like just in case your shoulders need a little more time to move gradually into that full flexion. Breathe, feel. In your down dog, look to the right and then look to the left. So we do that very tender twisting. Good. And then come to standing. Push into the feet. And as you come up here, we'll again just take the arms a little bit out to the side. And as they reach out to the side, you position your shoulder blades right on the back. So there's the shoulder blades. Now I could do this and still kind of jut my chin forward, right? So we have to be aware, like the back of your head, that lifting up. So we're going to do just a Uttanasana pose with a lot of awareness of your neck head position. So from here, you're going to take your hands behind you, kind of right at the top of the back of your legs. Stay wide across your chest and just start to go to a forward bend, but keep your chin down, like actually pull your chin down. Start to slide your hands down the backs of your legs. And as you're almost all the way down, you're going to lift up to a flat back, and you could lift your chin a little bit, like reach your chest forward, and then fold the whole way deep into your forward bend. Breathe here, really strong legs. Now, as you come up, you push into the feet, reach out to the side. There's the shoulder blades on the back. Navel in, reach your arms all the way up. Good, and we'll just do it one more time. The arms start to go way out to the side. Fold forward, but try not to lift your chin here. So we feel like, oh yeah, I'm going to keep my chin in as I hinge forward. Starting to go forward, take the hands behind your legs, and sweep them down, and then just lift up to your flat back, reach the chest forward. There is a little chin lift, and then fold all the way over. You can get a sense like your ribs are heavy, they're kind of hanging here. And a nice pull through your spine. So this is now the weight of the head really hanging, kind of pulling on your spine. So good for kind of decompression through your neck. Now, come on up, push into your feet, come all the way up. So arms are going to go way up. Wide across your chest. Good. So your arms are up. Go ahead and keep your right arm up and just take your left arm down. And let's get into that, just that side stretch. Where you are, you can let your head drop down. Open your mouth a little bit here, like kind of open the space in your ears. Good, and then just go other side. So as your right arm is down, left arm up, you're just letting the head kind of drop down. Open your mouth. Just don't want to like start to crush anything. You have a lot of space. Good, and then as you let this go, arm towards the front of the mat. So we're going to go through a meditation with a couple standing poses. All right. So, and in these poses, there will be, you guessed it, a little focus on our head and where our head is doing, our neck is doing. So we'll start with palms together in front of the heart. Standing upright. Grounding, feet really intentional, lifting up, feel the details of the neck, the length of the neck. Shoulders actually relaxing down. And the arms reach out to the side. You reach your arms up. Back to your forward bend. So holding all the way over. Feel the drop of the head. You know, what's interesting as you're dropping your head down is you really don't want to let like your shoulders just crush down to your ears here. You might naturally not do this. Like that's why we had the hands behind the legs, even your hands kind of on your calf muscles. So you lift your shoulders up a little bit. Just give it like there's that length of your neck. Moving now back to your down dog. Step back. Again, naturally, like shoulders stay back because we have all this awareness of not crushing the neck. Moving to your plank pose. As you do that, aware of what your head is doing in that alignment through the whole spine to your brain. Lightly the knees touch down, and then we lower onto the floor. Now as you lower the legs go back, and you're going to reach your arms back this time, lifting to a little Shavasana. So there go. What I love about Shavasana, so now you're lifting your legs in this pose, is you really can draw the shoulder blades together when you have your arms back. Now you could keep your fingers touching the floor if that helps you to pull your shoulder blades together. Don't lift your chin too much here or it will crush your neck. So there's that space in the neck. Now, as you lower out of your Shavasana, you're going to look to the right. So here's that same landing on your left cheek. Lift your Shavasana again, lifting up. Focus on all the space. Now look to the left as you lower down. Lifting up. Move back to your down dog. Toes tuck under. Lift. Breathing here. So we're going to lift the heels way up, and we're going to take that right foot and just step it forward towards your hands. But as you do that, right away, take your hands to your left side and completely rotate to your left. So that as your feet drop down, your feet are now parallel and you're in a wide-legged position. Now this wide-legged position, you could move to your forward bend here. Like this is a kind of a different feeling in your hips, your lower back. So that again, the head just drops down here. Shoulders here, they might really lift up away from your ears rather than just crushing down. Now, arms go to the side, you lift yourself up. So here we have the arms out to the side. You're going to take your right foot and just open towards the front of the mat. Moving towards your warrior two. So you're going to start to bend that right knee. Bending, bending, bending. Left leg straightening. So aware of your arms, your shoulders. We're going to do a little movement here. So we're going to start by externally rotating and taking your palms up. But that's an action that's really deep in your shoulders. Now your head is like a balloon. It's lifting up. Space in your upper chest across your shoulders. And then we're going to do the opposite with the arms. So this means you're going to start to internally rotate. Now this is those upper arm bones, like your humerus bones are really rotating. You might naturally drop your chin a little bit here, but keep reaching out through your arms and then do the opposite. Let this rotate open. Deep external rotation, internally rotate. Just do this now. Just do this back and forth. And I know this is a very strong work to do these actions with a lot of spaciousness and breath. Not following just your intuition. Working the shoulders. Good. So let's straighten that right leg. And as you do this, you're going to just let this hinge over to a triangle pose. Even kind of a moderate pose. So when your hands come down, you're very lightly touching your right leg. Strong legs now as you lift the chest. So what's your head doing? Make sure to align the head. Like, can you feel your neck? As you're lifting your chest, you don't want to lift your chin too much. The chin is really neutral, and then reach that top arm up. Now, as you reach the top arm up, you're going to then look down. Don't force this, just feel that. And instead of reaching up, you're going to take that arm alongside your head, like you're reaching towards the front of your mat. Start to rotate your head to look up. But stay strong and balanced here. Now we're going to do this 2 times where you reach your arm back up to the ceiling and you look down towards your foot. Keep the spine now lengthening as you take your arm alongside the head again. Start to look up. Breathing. And then the arm reaches back up to the ceiling. Look down. Breathing here. I know, strong. And then the arm alongside your head, you start to look up. Strong legs. Good. And then you come back up. You bend that right knee. You reach your arms out. And now that back arm, that left arm is going to drop down. Right arm keeps reaching forward. So keep lifting up through your spine. In fact, you're going to actually let your head drop towards your left shoulder. So the right side of your neck is getting a stretch. You're reaching that right arm forward. Just explore this. Make sure the spine is lengthening as you're doing this. Like you're not like sinking your chest down at all, your chin down. You have this, this space. Now that right arm comes down, so both arms are down, and then you're just upright. Face the front of your mat and move back to down dog. In your own way, the hands will come down. Back and really feel the opening through your hands, but even the strength in your hands and your arms. Same with the feet, like position your toes, get that just right position. Strength. Like you can really lift your heels, you could lower them down, lift them up, lower them down. There's that real strength. Move to your plank. Feel the alignment from tailbone to crown of head. Lightly knees touch down and then lower onto your belly. And as you reach your legs back, you're just going to do that very fluid Shavasana, your locust pose. You lift up and then you look to the side. And you lift up. And you look to the side. Now you could do this with your breath. You could do the inhale, lifting up, and the exhale, lowering. Just let this really fluid. Notice the effort of lifting your head up, but just right. Alignment for your neck. When you're lifting, notice how the shoulder blades draw together. And the effort of doing that. Pull them together. Good. Now back to down dog. And the heels could lift up a little bit, and you're going to step your left foot forward. So go ahead and take both hands to your right, and then pivot to your right. So here you are in your wide-legged position, feet parallel, forward bend. As you're doing your forward bend, as best as you can, really untuck your tailbone so that we're not just rounding the back as you're going over. Strong legs in this pose, long neck. Now, as you push into the feet, you might reach your arms out to the side as you come back up. Arms reaching out, so shoulder blades on the back. So now we'll take left foot and open it towards the front of the mat. Start to bend your left knee as you move towards warrior one. Right leg is straight, working, strong. So position, like notice, do you bunch up your shoulders in this pose? Wide across the shoulders, and then rotate your hands up. But this is not just a hand movement. This is deep in your shoulder joints that you are externally rotating. And then you internally rotate. Now, as you're doing this back and forth, make sure you're not looking forward over your left arm. You're looking more neutral. Just breathing, feeling this strength deep in your shoulder joints. Like you can do this without getting all tight and tense. Just exploring. Good. Now we go ahead, we're going to straighten that left leg. You're moving to triangle pose, so strong through your spine and your legs. Do that little hinge deep in the left hip. Your left hand is lightly touching your leg, maybe right below your knee. And as you ground your feet, you lift your chest, you reach your right arm up. Now notice shoulders, neck. What are you doing with your chin? So as you keep that right arm really reaching up, you look down. Feel the twist. Now shoulders stay back away from your ears. Taking that top arm, now reach it alongside your head. And start to rotate your head so you start to look up. Now there's a lot of balancing here. So stay very firm and grounded as you play with this. Your right arm reaches back up. You're looking down. And that top arm now kind of sweeps alongside your head as you start to look up. And then you just do that one more time. The arm reaching up, you're looking down. Really feel the details of your neck, your shoulders. As you start to lift the chest and look up, that top arm reaching alongside your head. Good. Now, top arm reaching up. You bend your left knee a little bit as you come up. So as you come up, you kind of go back to that warrior two. You really bend that left knee. And then right arm drops down. Your left arm just keeps reaching forward. Drop your tailbone, but then lift up through your spine and just let your head drop a bit towards your right shoulder. Therefore, stretching and opening the left side of your neck. Just feel the reaching forward through your left arm. Breathing here. And as that left arm comes down, your head just lifts back up to neutral. So let's take that back foot now. That right foot is just going to step forward. Pause. You're in your mountain pose. Now, you might just go ahead and just kind of turn around because we're going to let ourselves just move through a little bit of our walking tree. I find that just standing upright is really good work for your neck and your shoulders. So you might take the arms a little bit out to the side, like palms forward, and that might help you just press your shoulder blades just so gently on your back. Lift up through the crown of the head and just take a step onto your right foot and practice balancing, like just wherever you want to place that left foot. You might just lift your left knee a little balance, and then left foot down. So ground. So there's this little moment of tree pose where you're balancing on the left leg. You could place the right foot on the inner left calf if you want to do that briefly, and then stepping. So it's almost just like we're practicing walking, slow motion. Can you keep your shoulders down? Or do you notice an urge to kind of bunch your shoulders up? You get your neck a little longer here, almost like you're just taller. Yet at the same time, you are grounding down through the foot that is connecting. Once you get towards the end of your mat, you have to turn around. And even that is like you keep the heart lifted. Notice just the strength of your legs, like as you keep doing this, like that standing leg, really firm and strong, but the throat is soft. So it's almost just like you're fully aware of and dealing with the weight of your head to the point where your head is just lifting up, up, up the whole time. This is really good practice. This is yoga. This is something you could do really anytime. Especially good one you if you've noticed, like, oh my gosh, I've been sitting. I've been sitting for like 2 hours straight. Or you could just get up and do this action. Ah. Such a wonderful counter pose because you can just breathe, just feel that, wow, my breath can really flow here. You might even move now if you want to, just take briefly our crescent pose. So I'm going to keep my right foot forward. I'm going to step my left foot back a little bit. And then it gets into that deeper opening, like through my left hip. I get that big stretch. Feeling arms out to the side and just that relief through your neck. Your shoulders down. And just switch sides. You'll just left foot stays forward, the right foot steps back. Strong back leg. Reaching out. Get all that space in the chest. Lift up crown of the head. Good. And so as we let this go, as you come up, we are going to move onto the back. So we're going to lower down onto the floor so as we come down here, a lot of what we've been doing, like in Shavasana, what have we been doing? We've been lifting the head. So that's like working the back muscles, the back of the neck muscles. So bridge pose, this is one of my favorites now for stretching the back of the neck. So go ahead and recline. As you recline down, So this little outline, this sequence that I'm following, this pose of bridge pose, they actually call Duipada Pitam, which just means, Duipada means 2 feet. And it really means like 2 feet grounding, like pushing down. So knees are bent, feet are on the floor, arms are right down alongside you. So it's almost more about just that energy now of like pushing your feet down. And like the more you push your feet down now, your butt will lift up away from the floor. And once your butt lifts up away from the floor, then maybe move your feet. Like where does it feel right? You can push your feet straight down and it just keeps lifting your spine. Now, naturally, the back of the neck is going to lengthen here. And you can just let that happen. You might feel the upper back, the pressure on your upper back, that lengthening of the back of your neck. But make sure that your chin does not actually like crush your throat down. Like you still can lift your chin a little bit here. Draw your tailbone up. Just get that lifting. And then you'll just slowly lower down. But as you lower down, keep your feet really planted down. So be sensitive here to the feeling of your neck and your shoulders. What I love about this one is, boy, it's the opposite of your shoulders lifting up to your ears. Your shoulder blades are really being kind of dragged down. Now push into your feet and lift up here. So hopefully you feel this almost this sense of relief around the back of your neck, your upper back. Keep lifting the tailbone. Just push your feet down wide across your chest and then lowering your spine. This is the one that I described, like you're lifting the vertebra one at a time and then you're lowering them down one at a time. So close your eyes and just let yourself continue with that lifting and lowering. The grounding of the feet, even the soles of the feet really wide and open. You're not rolling onto just little, parts of your feet. You feel that pressing straight down. So the breath is really free. Lots of space around the heart and the chest. So you are, as you're pushing into your feet, as you're lifting, tailbone, there's a floating up of your breastbone. Next time that you lower down, just go ahead and roll to one side and bring yourself back up. So as you come up here, you are going to find a cross-legged position. Now for this next twist we're going to move into, I have found that it just feels like the architecture of this one feels better when you're not sitting on a height. But we do need a really strong lifted spine in order to twist. So if you find like it just helps you to sit on a height, then you could do that. Because really, sometimes even like the littlest, height lifted, like, oh, so much easier in my hips to just stay lifted and upright. So start with the arms down. I'm just going to sit directly on the floor. So arms are down. And your spine draws in a little bit so you can lift upright. So as we twist, so I'm going to try to mirror you here. I'm just going to twist. So you're twisting to your right side. And as you start to twist to your right shoulder has to really open up. And your right hand will move behind you. So of course we don't want to lift our shoulders as we're doing this. So place your right hand wherever works for you. Now your left hand is going to reach across and just grab that right knee. But this one too, make sure that that makes sense for your shoulders, that you can stay wide across your chest here. So grounding down now both hips. Can you feel that you're not like rolling onto just your right hip or one hip? You're grounding straight down. You're lengthening the sides of your body. Now the rib cage is going to start to twist to your right. Can you feel like your head is the balloon? It's lifting up, lifting straight up. Even in your mouth, like you're lifting the upper palate in your mouth straight up. Naturally, you're going to start to look back, right? Like your whole head twisting. Please breathe to your belly. And get a sense like, yes, I could breathe into my whole body. Feel your shoulders down, neck long. Now, from here, you're going to just keep your lower body where it is, and just your head is going to start to rotate the other direction. So chin stays level. So everything else is going to the right, twisting to the right, but your head is now looking to the left. Keeping that first chin level. Now we're going to really lift up the spine so much that you start to lift your chest and let your head start to drop down, like you're kind of dropping your head to the left. The right side of your neck, even the right pectoral area, opening and stretching. Really feel like your neck, you're not just hanging around there. Lifting up, push into the floor. Lots of space. Little teeny movements maybe with your chin or opening your mouth slightly. And then neutral. So we're just lifting more upright and release completely. Let go of your twist. As we go to the other side. So if you want to, you could switch your legs. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that I'm really sitting in the pose of Sukhasana, which means that the feet are under your knees. In other words, you're not sitting like this. So like my knees are way out to the side here. So you're kind of pulled in with your knees a little bit. Sitting upright. As you twist to the other side, really roll that left shoulder open. So your left hand goes behind you, but that shoulder blade draws down. Both shoulder blades down. And then maybe that right hand reaching across to left knee. So just right arm hand position. So you can lift up through your spine. You're not leaning to one side. Sides of the body lifted. And then just the head just starts to do that natural swivel. Don't force, don't try to like really look back behind you. Don't strain your eyeballs. Breathe to your belly. Could you actually breathe up to your brain? And then we look the other way. We just let this, just the head rotating. Whenever the head just stops, you let it stop. You just breathe there. So at first chin is level, but now we let this really grow. We lift from the very base of your spine. You lift up your spine. The chest is almost a little back bend in your upper body. You lift that upper left pectoral area. The armpit chest lifting. Your head might even drop a little bit. So good to just follow your intuition here by breathing and feeling. Staying here, staying with this. So you may notice like you're still using strength to lift your head up. It's not just kind of hanging there. So there's a deep opening. Good. So as we let this go, back upright, untwist. Good. So after that, like that twisting action, we're going to take the legs out in front of us. With the legs out, lift up, up, up. Ground your legs as you start to move to a forward bend here. So this one too, don't lift your chin too much. Kind of keep chin down, but reach the ribs forward. Start to reach your hands down towards your ankles. So this one is good. You could even do in that kind of jellyfish action where you just let yourself start to fold over. That grounding, the pressing of the legs down here. But then like lift up out of this. So feel your chest really expand. And then just fold back over. So all of this with awareness of like, your head, your neck. Almost a little pull through your spine after those twists. You are not, of course, pushing your shoulders forward and crunching up again. So keep that space. And then as you lift back up here, completely let go of your seated pose. You're going to lean back a little bit, open your feet wide, wide apart. And then just drop your knees back and forth. Just kind of loose just for your hips. Just let this move. Breathe. And then just let yourself find a nice, cozy Shavasana pose. Right? So as you lay on your back, Shavasana is really great for your neck, your upper back, because why? It really presses your shoulder blades. But please make sure, like if you want a little cushion under your head in Shavasana, that might be really good for your neck. So take your time, get cozy while I let my dog out. So now in Shavasana, we're done doing any work. And it really is just the pressure of laying on a nice hard floor, just pressing and keeping those shoulder blades down. But make sure like your throat nice and open, back of the neck lengthened. This is why when we do Shavasana, almost every time I will give the instruction to drop the weight of your head. Because we can really hold that tension. Like we don't even know it, but we're like slightly uh, lifting, holding tension. So even feel, you might even kind of move your head kind of back and forth. So you're like nestling your head down into the floor. You can really feel that complete descending. And also the full, complete putting everything down. Nothing to do here in this pose. Bring your awareness to your throat. Bring your awareness to your whole neck. We're just like making sure with loving awareness, just I'm doing nothing. Dropping your arms. So now the breath is just like little waves, just kind of lapping the shore. These little waves moving into your belly. So bring awareness to your belly. Allow the belly to be soft and receptive. Almost when the belly really softens, the neck softens even more. Like, oh, I could really soften my whole face as I release and soften deep in my pelvis.
Completely let go of the weight of the legs. And as the legs release, soften your neck again. As you bring awareness to your whole body, just move deep into nature itself. The beauty of nature, aware of your whole body. Keep coming back. Sometimes just the simple words saying to yourself, let go. Letting go, the mind is aware and bright. And finally, just placing one hand on your belly and start to breathe into your hand. A little deeper breath because we start to let go of Shavasana and start to re enter the day. And from those deeper breaths, you might just move into a little stretch, maybe arms going out or reaching your arms above your head. Maybe your head just goes a little bit back and forth. Just feel the space in your neck and your throat. And as you're ready, you could roll to the side and come back up, come to seated pose. And as you take palms together, to observe just how you're feeling now, how the body feels, maybe your attitude, quality of the heart and the mind. As you breathe, feel the space around the heart. Let it soften and open. Sending out the wish that may the work that we do here, may it extend out and benefit all beings. May we continue to practice and free ourselves of tension. We'll close with the sound of Om. If you want to join in, take a deep inhale. Deep gratitude. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here and practicing together once again online and in your own home. So I think the only thing I have to share is that just as an alert of changes coming up. So today is Friday, and tomorrow I do have a 2-hour Saturday morning class from 9 to 11. And next week, I've been offering these half-hour classes that are most of them in the morning, but I do have an afternoon one. And I added on 2 more of those. So now, Monday through Friday, I have a morning option every morning. Monday is 8 to 8:30. So Tuesday now is going to be from 8:30 to 9. Wednesday is from 7 to 7:30. Thursday is from 7:30 to 8. So those are those little half-hour classes in the morning. And then Friday morning is same as this one. So it's the longer 9:30 to 10:45. So if you want any more info about those, you might want to contact me because they're actually not on my website. All of them are not there yet. But you can always contact me, Nancy at boleryoga.com. And I'm going to type that into our chat right here. Feel free to leave a comment in our little chat area. So nice to hear from everyone. So there's my easy email address, easy reference. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful ongoing practice. Just as a reminder too, that if it feels, right in any way that you want to give back for classes, if you want to donate, you can do that. You go to the Common Ground website and there's instructions on how to donate both online, and you can also through the mail. You could just send in a donation if you want to. And that really goes just right from the heart, just what makes you happy, of how, supporting your teachers and Common Ground in general, how it works for you. And I just think of it as you want to give back in a way that just makes your heart happier. And especially if you might feel like, oh my gosh, I'm in a position where I have nothing, I have nothing like in a monetary way that you can offer, then please don't send anything, because that's how this whole system of generosity works. That you don't want to feel like, guilty that, so just good to really reflect on that. Like, what you're doing right now, that it really works. So I wish you a wonderful day, weekend, and I hope to see you soon on the screen. Bye.